Good morning. This is Sonia Settle. Welcome to my VLC. My fictional school is called American Middle School. Let me direct your attention to the tabs at the top of the VLC. The school culture page is called Pride. The literacy culture page is called Read, and it features a subpage with book clubs. KBC remained KBC, but I also added a subpage called Your Space, which is a collaborative space for students. Excuse me. The design hall is now called the Hole because it features prompts for hole-in-the-wall activities. And the ELC is called Pro, and it features professional resources for teachers. The subpage for that is a resource page with full bibliographic information on the resources. Not all of the resources, but the ones that were needed to fulfill the requirement for this assignment. And finally, there is the contact page. So let's explore the home page. The first thing that students will notice when they come will be the slideshow, which features pictures that they have submitted themselves. This would be a weekly feature with a different theme each week. Here we see pictures that students have submitted on their fictional spring break. And below you see the topic for the next week, which would be pet selfies. So the students could submit the pet selfie, so when they come next week there will be a slideshow with those pictures. And as I said, this is a weekly updated element on the page, and therefore this would be an element that is maintained and run by the student publication staff so that it doesn't create a burden on the librarian, but it allows for fresh content to be added each week to keep students coming back each week to the site. Over on the left is the welcome message, and my tour will be posted there later. Hours are included here for the school office as well as the White House, which is the nickname for the school library. Below that we have a calendar. This particular calendar is not a Google synced calendar, but in real life that's what I would use because that allows me to add an event to the calendar and then Google automatically updates it wherever this calendar is linked. And to the right, we have new resources that are available at the school library. Currently, these are linked to Amazon, but in real life, I would want these to be linked to student-created book trailers or aura triggers or the book catalog for the school. At the very bottom of the page, we have after-school activities at the White House and the contributors to the VLC, and the contact information would be hyperlinked so that other students or staff members could contact those contributors. Next, we will go to the school culture page, which is Patriot Pride. This is the online school yearbook. Again, this page would be entirely run and maintained by the student publications staff. This would allow fresh content to be added on a regular basis. The Phenomenal Patriots slideshow would feature students doing school activities and also student life outside of school, activities that students do. To the right, we have a poll where there would be a weekly question that students could weigh in on, and the question would be something about current events or student issues. Below that, we would have student clubs. As an example, I chose the photography club and pictures that they had taken that are organized in a gallery. And below that, we have the Patriot Pride contributors. So these are contributors specifically in charge of this page, and this allows students to contact them and suggest different content that they would like added to the page. And last, we have the archives. In real life, I would most likely create a separate page for the archives so that it could be accessed up here with the tabs, and then that would create room down here for some sort of other school activity. And next to the literacy culture page, the first things that students will be able to access here would be the online school catalog, and currently that is linked to an elementary school here in Bartlesville. But in real life, that would be linked to the school in which I have created the VLC for. Below that, we have a connection to the authors. So a featured author website each month. And the next column contains links to different apps that students can access in order to take their book reports to another dimension. Each of these is hyperlinked so that students can easily access them. The school-wide reading initiatives are represented here with this reading reward party for students who read 12 of the 15 Sequoia books. And literacy initiatives underway, the example that I used would be student-run online book clubs. Students can access this up at the top with the tab, or they can use this button to get to the online book clubs. And in real life, these would be hyperlinked so that students could just pick a graphic and go there to communicate and chat with others about books that they love. And finally, at the very bottom of the read page are links for students to be able to access award-winning books and those award-winning lists. Next, we will explore the KBC. The VLC template stated that the KBC should provide access to major learning projects. So I chose to include buttons with links to different components of my teaching unit. Your Space is the subpage for this, which I will discuss shortly. But my teaching unit is called the Book Pie unit, and so for example I created a Symbaloo with all of the apps or links to the apps that students would need in order to complete their assignments for that unit. This button allows students to go to the collaborative Your Space page and post the book pies that are that they have made for the book pie unit. Down here is a link to take them where they actually need to create the pie chart, and then they can come back here to post and share and discuss the book pies with their classmates. So back to the KBC. So those are the major learning project buttons, and the template also suggested giving students information about how they can create their own personal learning environment. And there are different ways to do that, but I chose to use Symbaloo as the mechanism of creating the PLE. This takes students to a video tutorial on Symbaloo, and this link takes students to the Symbaloo website where they can create their own account. And then the next three are not hyperlinked, but they are steps that students would need to do in order to make their PLE work for them. And finally, at the bottom of the KBC are my teaching unit files. I uploaded my book pie unit in Word form and PDF, and then I also created some handouts, and this allows students, or allows you to access these handouts for the unit. Okay, next we will go to the design hall, which I have renamed the whole. For parents who wander onto this page, there is a link to explain what in the world is going on here. It is the Edutopia article that Dr. Edwards shared with us, and it also has the TED Talk video embedded there. And below that there are prompts for hole-in-the-wall activities. And I think it would be great to change these each month and to feature different technologies or a different skill that they might need to learn. So for example, for the iMovie, the students could choose one of these themes and make a movie in 40 minutes. Or they could choose one of these categories of aura triggers to experiment and make an aura in the Aurasma application. And I just realized I need to go back to KBC briefly. I need to talk about the collaborative student space here. So I spoke about the book pies, but there are more collaborative activities on this page. So for instance, when students create their aura trigger, they can place it here, and then other students can come and scan that trigger and access the content that they have linked to that trigger. And at the end of my unit, I created 2 real-world connection activities. The first one is a discussion about whether students should be allowed to bring their own devices to school to use in class. And the second one is a discussion about whether all 8th graders should be required to read one book during the summer, or if they should be given the opportunity to choose a book on their own. And again, those kind of tie up the unit. It takes what they've learned in the book pie unit and helps them connect that with their own lives. Okay, so we spoke about the KBC and the subpage there, and we have done a discussion about the whole. All right, and now next to Pro, which is the ELC page. And this would feature a link specifically chosen for teachers each month, and then professional resources organized by standards, apps, videos, articles, books, reading lists. Each of these has a hyperlink and will take the teacher to that content. Below that is a forum. I'm running out of time, so I'm speaking quickly. Is a forum for teachers to collaborate and plan an all-school learning day. Here is the form that they can fill out if they have questions and need help. This link is here, and that would be the information there would be changed monthly to keep teachers coming back here. And this page is specifically to meet the requirement for this assignment. And last is the contact page, where I would also, besides the contact information of the contributors, I would also include help information and frequently asked questions. Thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful. Have a great day.